The Hawkeye game is over, but the conversation is about to begin. It's time for the Black and Gold Rush with Travis and Ross.
That was an old-time ass-kicking, ladies and gentlemen. The Iowa Hawkeyes 40, the Nebraska Cornhuskers 16. The game just wrapped up in Lincoln, Nebraska. We are here for the next couple of hours to let you say what you want about the game. We have a lot to say. It's good to have you here. If you're listening on the audio stream at rushradio.com, the Rush Radio Android app, or the TuneIn app, thank you so much for dialing us in. If you are watching on YouTube today, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Give the video a like and start leaving your comments in the comments section. We are in the absolute same place today. Ross Peterson and myself, Travis Justice. Hello, Roscoe.
Hey, buddy. It's good to be here.
It's good to be here, isn't
Fun
it?
to watch a game in the room with you again, man. Felt like old times.
It's the first time in over a year that we've watched a game together. And how many times did we high five today? We were
5, 6 times.
Yes.
Yeah, there are a few things to be excited about as Hawkeye fans today.
You know, we got phones lined up. John, Tom, another one from North Liberty. Stay there. We're going to get to you really quick. But I think when we started the rush this morning, you and I did not see a 40-16 game.
We even said, I don't see a blowout happening either way. This is going to be a close game. We said this is going to be a game that's going to be won in the margins. Probably the team that wins the turnover battle is going to win this. The only thing we had right, Trav, we said you're not going to be able to look at the box score of this game and get an idea of how that game went. And that's true. I mean, when you look at that and you see Johnson go for, what do you end up with, 200 and...
Emmett Johnson ended up with 217 yards on 29 carries.
If you would have said this morning, Emmett Johnson's going to go for 217, I would have said, oh, that's going to be trouble for the Hawkeyes. I wouldn't have said, well, yeah, that equals a 24-point win. And by the way, Hawks are going to have a not necessarily a turnover, but a flub on a kickoff.
Yeah.
That's going to end up with Nebraska having great field position. Hawkeyes are twice going to get the ball within a couple yards of the 50-yard line or start a drive in Nebraska territory that ends in a field goal. Those all would have been things you just said, oh, man, this does not bode well for the Hawks. It all boded well for the Hawks.
Yeah, it all boded well. You had the one turnover on the kickoff. Nebraska only had one turnover. That was down at the goal line. But field position played a huge part of it for Iowa and just really total domination. We'll get into the numbers a little bit, but let's start by going to the phones at 515-517-2303. Let's go out to New Jersey. That's where John is. John, welcome to the Black and Gold Rush from the Iowa Rivalry Studios. What's going on?
Oh, yes.
100%. They just won 40-16, John.
But it's not. But John, it's... Yeah.
all in to try and win this thing, or we are not going to be able to compete at a national level. We need to accept that the last 26 years was the high water mark. And whenever Kirk Ferentz leaves, we're not going to compete even at this level anymore. And I think that that's what you heard from the callers the last 2 weeks, because we're excited about this win, but we're out of the playoff chase and we felt defeated last week because everything was off the books. So let's just call a spade a spade.
Okay. Thanks, John.
That's my argument.
Appreciate it, John. Appreciate the call. Thanks.
It's a weird call to start with. And we did have some audio problems to start on the StreamYard end. It was working. What happened was Ross has never been in the studio before.
No.
And what happened is the microphone on that camera that you're on overrode, and so it knocked, and I didn't know we got knocked off.
Oh,
but
that's funny.
Everything
Okay.
is fixed
All
now.
right. All right.
Everybody was a little upset, but that's okay. We appreciate you hanging with us. 515-517-2303. Let's go to Tom in North Liberty. Tom, welcome to the Black and Gold Rush from the Iowa Lottery Studios. What's up?
Well, this is Little Tom. I'm going to be calling in before Big Tom now. So,
Big Tom, a little bit too drunk there, little Tom?
all right. So I got a buddy from school, and he's a Nebraska fan. We made this bet at the beginning of the year. Is Iowa beats Nebraska, you have to wear an Iowa shirt, and other way around for Nebraska. But against Oregon, he backed out because he saw that we barely lost to them. But that's besides the fact. He made the bet with the principal, and now principal is going to make him wear an Iowa shirt. But I'm taking the torch. I'm going to be first caller in now. Go Hawks.
There you go. Thanks, little Tom. Appreciate it, man. 515-517-2303. Let's go to Big Tom in North Liberty. Big Tom, welcome to the Black and Gold Rush from the Iowa Lottery Studios. What's going on?
Oh, my God.
Ross, let me tell you, first of all, I know you listen to surprise you. I don't ever drink alcohol anymore.
I think I knew that.
Right?
I think I knew that. Yeah.
So, right. So, because like Uncle Barry that we take with us, he drinks a little bit, and I got to make sure old Grandpa gets home. But like little Tom said, he's now going to take the mantle. I'm going to let him be the first caller when we call into your show. So he'll always have something good to say, kind of like me, right? He's not as witty as me yet, but, that'll come with time. But, hey, I was actually going to call in and say, hey, listen, like that Godfrey kid on defense, where's he been all year? He played a hell of a football game today, right?
Yeah, he had nine tackles, I believe, 6 solo. Yeah. He was all over the place. And dude, I actually looked at Ross right before we went on the air. I said, where did he come from today?
Dude, and he stuffed that guy on fourth down. That wasn't a first down. It was a terrible spot. But, I see that spot.
Well,
we talk about that
it had no effect in the game. But I will say this.
No, it didn't.
The problem with that first down marker that's on T, that's not official, right? And everybody thinks that's the official line.
Not true.
What? Yeah, so.
Okay, so hey, and then another thing, Reese Vanderzee. I mean, the three of us know this, and I think most Hawkeye fans know this. That kid's a football player, right? Like, they need to figure out next year, obviously, we got to get him the ball more,
that one-handed catch at the goal line is fantastic.
Yeah,
that's so
unbelievable,
good.
dude. And for a kid that's a sophomore, from a little bitty town, he and Lutmer, those two kids, man, like, that high school should be proud of those guys. I mean, obviously, I know they are. But, hey, here's what I'll say. We lost 4 games this year by 15 points. John from New Jersey is a negative Nelly, and he just needs to shut his pie hole. Like, shut up, dude. Enjoy this win. We dominated a team that still thinks it's 1985, still wears their stupid starter jackets that they haven't washed in 35 years, and half of those inbreds still live in their mom's basement, right? So let's go Hawks. Let's enjoy it. Have a good holiday, and little Tom will be the first caller from now on. Love you guys. Talk to you soon.
Thanks, Tom. Appreciate it. Phone line's now open at 515-517-2303. It's interesting because last week we had a negative feeling in our gut last week, right? We were like, God, what team is this that had to come back from 2 scores down to beat Michigan State? Yeah. It's amazing. And do I wish this season was 10 wins? Because I look at those losses that were by a combined 15 points, and we'll have plenty of time to play. What if?
I've gotten a lot of what if texts today.
The what if is very. Yeah. And we'll play it a lot because so close. Indiana so close. Oregon so close. You led the game with 4 seconds to go in the game.
It's what made those losses so frustrating. It's what made last week, I think, even in the win, feel frustrating.
Yes.
Because you didn't know what to expect. You didn't know how good this team was. I mean, truth be told, the regular season's over now. So now we have to decide, how good of a season was this for this Iowa Hawkeye team? I'll be honest. 8-4, and John's right. None of us should be happy and content with 8-4. Travis, it was a better season than I thought it was going to be for the Hawkeyes. It was a better season than I thought it was going to be. Beat Penn State. I didn't think that was going to happen. Lost some other games that I thought those would be the games in flux. Iowa State, obviously, the one that I wish they could have back the most, because that's the loss that's to the worst. That's the worst loss, which again, for a long part of the season, wasn't even a bad loss. When I look back at this, I'm going to remember this season as exceeding my expectation. You asked me a really good question at the beginning of the game today, and I think this is a good one to bring up to fans. How will Mark Gronowski be remembered?
That's a very good question. Mark Gronowski today, by the way, let's go to the numbers for Mark Gronowski. 9 of 16, 166 yards, 1 touchdown, no picks. Vanami made him look like a superstar quarterback.
And he has a couple nice runs. He has a couple of touchdown runs today. So 13 carries for 64 yards today. I wonder how Hawkeye fans are going to remember Mark Gronowski. Are we going to remember him as an 8-4 quarterback, or will we remember him as being a better quarterback than the 8-4 team?
I think we'll remember him as a serviceable quarterback who was a lot better success than the kid that came over from Michigan, but it is an 8-4 record. But what I wanted to ask you was that 8-4 it's an average season. It's an Iowa season. But boy, winning 40-16 over Nebraska, it changes. It may be a 24-hour bliss. I don't know, but I have a different feeling by getting the blowout today.
That's fair, because I think that's fair. That right now I'd probably answer that question differently than I will in February. That might be a better time to say, "Hey, Ross, how are you going to remember Mark Gronowski?" Is there a chance in February that we go, "I'm not sure we will"?
Here's what I think I can remember Mark Gronowski for. And I hope Mark Gronowski gets credit for changing the trajectory of quarterbacks at the University of Iowa. Meaning, and I think I saw a stat earlier, which kind of surprises me with Brad Banks and everybody else who was pretty successful. He ended up with 400 and plus yards of rushing on the season, which was a single season mark for the Iowa Hawkeye football team. I hope Mark Gronowski is remembered as the quarterback who convinced Kirk Ferentz that you have to get somebody mobile. You have to have somebody who can run with the football to keep other teams honest and add a different dimension and different weapon in that offensive repertoire. Because if you don't have a quarterback that could run in today's college football day and age, you're not going to win football games. I could see Penn State, Mark Gronowski's legs were a big part of them beating Penn State.
Absolutely.
I think Mark Gronowski's legs today, I still think they would have beaten Nebraska, but they kept drives going. And
he had a couple of nice third down plays today.
Yes.
There was in that first half, you had a couple of the one drive specifically. There were 3 third down plays. That were nice plays. Gronowski wasn't the playmaker necessarily in all 3 of those, but he obviously contributing factor in 2 of them. He had the really nice pass. He had the nice run. Good game. In fact, Trav, I think that's we were very critical of him early in the season, and I kept saying, man, I feel like Gronowski got better every week. And I think you could say that. Maybe last week was a little bit of a change, but.
Well, and that's the disappointing fact. I would like to see Mark Gronowski in one more year in this offense.
Yeah.
I really would. Remember, they were getting ready for warm-ups, and they were showing T.J. Lateef, who I know T.J. Lateef had a really bad football game for Nebraska. He was 9 of 24, 69 yards. There were a couple balls that were absolutely beautiful that his receivers didn't make a catch. But the point being was T.J. Lateef's a true freshman. I go, what would it be like to have a quarterback that you could count on for 3 or 4 years, and you knew that was going to be your guy, and you could build around him, right? And we don't know if T.J. Lateef's going to stay at Nebraska. We don't know if Dylan Raiola is going to stay at Nebraska, but they've had that luxury of having freshman quarterback that you could build up now, because we've just been in this portal mix, and that's what you have to ask yourself if you're Iowa. Do you want to go to the portal every single year for a quarterback, or do you want to build? I would think the goal would be find that guy,
recruit a kid that comes in as a freshman that you can count on. Man, I just don't see Kirk Ferentz doing that. Handing the ball off to a true freshman under center, or even a freshman, just to kind of goes against a lot of what he's preached over the years.
Yeah,
you've got to get a quarterback in here that's got some game experience. It seems like, and you missed on McNamara. He got hurt again, and you missed on that. You hit on Mark Gronowski, right?
Yeah. I think you would say you hit on Mark Gronowski. That's fair.
I think you won more games this year than you would have without him. And that's what a quarterback at Iowa, it's been a long time since we've had a playmaker as a quarterback. And man, Gronowski, you could count on him during things. I mean, the Gronowski-Plowski, we got to see that a couple of times today.
And it worked.
And by the way, he actually, I think I maybe have slept on how fast he actually is. He had a couple of times today. He's not getting out and running away from the secondary by any stretch, but man, he's keeping stride for stride, not being tracked down like some slow lumbering quarterback when he gets out into space. So, yeah, good game for Gronowski. I don't know that it's his best game of the year, but better than what it was early in the season.
Rob says I put Gronowski as just below Nathan Chandler in terms of one-year quarterbacks under Ferentz.
Oh, wow. That'd be a hard one to go to track for me. 1 year quarterbacks under Kirk Ferentz. Boy, I'd struggle with that one.
Skinner writes in and says he showed Iowa can have an offense and does not need 2 years to learn an offense.
Yeah, which was the thing that for years when Brian Ferentz was there, they used to say that, right? No quarterback can just come in here and learn this offense and get it done. I mean, he missed that one pass in the end zone. He kind of floated that ball. I think it wasn't Vanderzee. I don't remember who they were going for in the corner, but he overthrew him. And Ross Tucker on CBS Sports said, now remember, he didn't have spring practice. And I thought, well, yeah, but man, it's the end of the season. You should be a little bit more dialed in than that.
Yeah, you should be dialed into that. Yeah. Irish Hawkeye walks in, or the thoughts on the non-targeting call. That could have really changed how the game went. And the truth is, and you have to look at it, and I'm not, I try to be objective when it comes to penalties. I'm not, everything goes against the Hawkeyes and everything like this. I thought Iowa got away with one there. I really, really do. I mean, if you're going to have targeting calls, it was leading with the helmet. It was in the crown of the helmet, and now it was bang bang. I get it. I think Iowa just got lucky. I'm glad they didn't call it, and I agree with them. That came at a crucial time because was that third down. I think it was third down, and
no, that was on that targeting call was on the punt.
Oh, the punt, yes,
the punt where they ended up getting the safety.
Yeah, the safety. That's right. Thanks for refreshing my memory.
That would have swung the momentum quite a bit. Had that been taken off the board. And Nebraska has the ball. I mean, they would have had the ball like the 6-7 yard line. So who knows what would have come of that? But hell, they had the ball on the 10-yard line and had a 90-yard drive on 4 plays when Evan Johnson got loose on that 71-yard run. So, that was a huge play. I'm kind of surprised when I saw the replay. I thought, ooh, that's going to be targeting. This is going to come back. I'm glad it didn't. Today I didn't have any, like most days. I don't blame the officials for it. I don't think that they screwed too much up. I didn't see a lot of egregious stuff that I'm screaming at the television about the officials. I think that the Hawks got a couple of calls like that could have gone the other way. But yeah, I'm glad that they didn't take that back. Wonderful safety. It's a huge special teams play for the Hawks. What did you think about him kicking a Weejan? We talked about that a lot, and then he got a chance to burn him a few times.
Yeah, he had, you kicked to him, and he had a couple good returns. But he did screw up. I do believe it was Caden Weejan who screwed up the kickoff that went for a fumble.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, because you could see him kind of waving off, saying "let it bounce," and he wasn't aggressive to get up there and field it. And as soon as it hit the ground, you heard me go, "It's a live ball." Yeah, I go, "You dumbasses, it's a live ball."
Yeah.
And you're like, you got to remember, because it was almost like he treated it like a punt, and you're like, "That's not a punt, dude. That's a kickoff. That's a live ball."
Yeah.
So, some of the numbers: Kamari Moulton, 18 carries, 93 yards, 2 touchdowns. That's a 5.2 yard per carry average. Mark Gronowski, 13 carries, 64 yards. He averaged 5 yards a carry. McNeil had some good time. He got 8 carries, 35 yards, 4 yards per carry. So you look at it, and just a really, really good job on the ground by the Hawkeyes, who ended up with 379 total yards. Nebraska with 300 total yards, 231 of those on the ground, Ross, and 217 came from Emma Johnson. All week long, I told you about Emma Johnson. Yep. Were you? I'm impressed with the kid.
Oh, dude, absolutely. You couldn't be.
Yeah.
I mean, even take away the 71-yard run, you're talking about a kid that had 140 yards on, what would that be, 28 carries then?
Yeah.
That's a workhorse. That's a really good game against a good Iowa defense that had to know that Emmett Johnson was going to be your go-to when Latif is playing having his very first start at Nebraska. You knew that they were going to rely on Emmett Johnson a lot, and he still ended up with that sort of a game. Absolutely. You've got to be impressed with him.
515-517-2303. Let's go to Justin in Urbandale. Justin, welcome to the Black and Gold Rush from the Iowa Lottery Studios. What's going on?
Hey, what's happening, guys?
Not
That
much.
was quick. I was not on hold for 30 seconds. Very nice.
Phone lines are open.
I hope. Yeah, excellent. So, all right. So defensively, over the last few years, right? Yes, this year's defense may not have been as stout as when, like, we had Jack Campbell and Riley Moss and some of those recent defenses. But I think a lot of I think it was said a couple of years ago that the offenses really didn't have to do much to beat Iowa because we didn't have an offense. And I think now we actually have an offense that can threaten you. And this leads me to my second point, which is, I said this last week or maybe the week before, every game this year when Iowa has needed points, Gronowski has taken us down the field and gotten points. And he's made some incredible throws. And I mean, sometimes, throughout the middle of the meat of the game, maybe the offense hasn't looked like Ohio State. But, man, when it counts, he took us down there and got us points. And I don't know. So, I guess the question is, looking back on the season, it really is a what if, because Indiana and Oregon, the defense did not hold up. And they went against some really good teams that drove the ball down on them, right? And went and got their own points. So, sometimes you're playing – I'm totally disjointed in my call here, and I'm sorry. This is why I'm not a radio guy. But, sometimes you're playing against – the other dude is good too, right? And I think that's what happened this year. I mean, Iowa State was a disappointment. The Indiana and Oregon games were like right there, and we could walk away with our heads held high, even though they lost. And USC was a bummer, but I think there was a lot of some offensive line injuries in that game that really held us back. And I'm saying us like I played like Tyler did. Tyler can say us. I should say Iowa.
Dude. It's okay when you're rooting for the Hawks. It's okay to say that. It is. It's all right to say.
Yeah.
Everybody else is.
I know it is. I know it is, but I feel weird when I say it. Anyway, so listen. Couldn't be prouder of this team, and what a beatdown on Nebraska, man. No matter what happened the rest of the year, we beat Nebraska's ass, and that was fun. So how about those Hawkeyes, huh?
How about those Hawks?
Thanks, Justin. Appreciate it, buddy.
Is Iowa have a chance against Michigan State on Tuesday?
Yeah. Ooh. I think they have a chance. Now it's going to be in East Lansing, so that changes those chances a little bit. But you know what? From what I've seen so far, they're well coached. They shoot the ball well. They have a little bit of momentum, but Michigan State's good. I mean, Michigan State is really good. It's a
really tough task. Yep.
Yeah, Iowa's got a fun little basketball team. One thing I'm kind of curious about, looking forward to this Michigan State team is. Izzo's obviously been there for a long, long time. And when he would talk about Iowa basketball, talk about the Iowa team that he was about to play, he'd always refer to Coach McCaffrey as Franny. I think Tom and Fran were like old friends. Like they were the old deans of of the Big Ten basketball coaches. Izzo was sitting there by himself now. And so, This is going to be an interesting matchup on Tuesday. I can't wait, man. Iowa basketball is back, though. Let's go Hawks.
All right. Thanks, Justin. Appreciate it, man. 515-517-2303. Let's go to, I believe this is Ed. Ed, welcome to the Black and Gold Rush from the Iowa Lottery Studios. What's going on, Ed?
Hey, what's happening, fellas?
Not much.
Great day to be a Hawk. How about them Hawks?
It's awesome.
Yeah, go Hawks. Hey, there's just not a lot to really analyze from the game. I mean, it was a bludgeoning. I guess Nebraska had a big play there at the beginning, but I guess really what I wanted to just talk about is I do indulge in some Twitter or X banter with Nebraska fans, and it's all in good fun. But the one thing that just drives me crazy about them is they have such a hard time acknowledging that Iowa's better. It's like we won 9 out of 10, now we won 10 out of 11, and their go-to is, yeah, but that's the worst of our program's history. And it's like, okay, that's fine, but we're clearly better than you. And, I don't understand why you're making excuses about it. So I don't know that I really have a question. It's more just of a gripe.
Ed, I live it every day.
Huskers' inability to accept their reality.
Ed, I live it every day. You may know I live in Omaha, right? And I actually host a podcast with a former Husker player, and we go back and forth about this all the time. And it's going to be when we record either tomorrow or Saturday or Sunday. I'm going to be like, Rob, you have to accept the fact that Nebraska or Iowa is a better program than Nebraska. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. You may have a better history when it comes to winning national championships. I'll give you that. You can't take away that history away. But for the last
the last decade either.
Yeah. But what did Dr. Rob say on our show this morning? If he had a chance to take what Iowa's done over the last 25 years over what Nebraska's done, he would take it all day long.
Oh, yeah. You have to. And again, if you're a Hawkeye fan, would you trade the Hawkeyes 90s for the Nebraska's 90s? You better.
Yeah.
You absolutely better. Ed, I think that's a really solid point there. I really do. That it's even hard for me as a child of the 90s and a diehard Hawkeye fan. It's kind of hard for my brain to process how much that Iowa is this year. If Nebraska had won this game, Nebraska would have ended up with a better record than the Hawkeyes.
Yeah.
Right. And it would have been hard to try to make a case like this. With the way they dominated this game with 10 straight years now, 10 of 11 years, you've won this game. It's been, when was the last time Iowa lost in Lincoln?
2011.
That's crazy.
Oh, I got one for you.
Was that also the last time they had was 2011 the last time they had a real sellout too, Ed?
But I got something for you, a little nugget to taunt your Nebraska fan friends with. I'm hanging out here over at the Benz household, and Bobby's sister shared with me the last time Nebraska beat Iowa in Lincoln, only 1/3 of Americans had smartphones.
Wow,
that's really good.
That's an incredible.
That's really good.
I might use that. I might use that this weekend on Dr. Rob just to say, hey, did you know only 1/3 of Americans? Thanks for that, Ed. I appreciate it, man.
And now every American has 3.
All right. Go Hawks.
See you, buddy. Good Hawks.
515-517-2303. Let's go to the Bush family. The Bush family is on the Black and Gold Rush from the Iowa Lottery Studios. What's up?
Let's go. How's everybody doing? This is Harry.
Hey, Harry.
We were having a nice Thanksgiving. The whole family's in town this weekend.
Nice.
Ryder Bush here.
This is Grandma Bush, Sandra, but I prefer Sandy.
Ryder.
And Kita, and Ivana Bush.
And, Peter, my brother, he pronounces the T silent.
Okay. Peter.
So it's Eater Bush.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
Yeah. So but he's been drinking moonshine all morning. So he's passed out in the basement.
Nice.
Yeah. Well, how about those Hawks today?
They were awesome. They were awesome, and
yes, they were.
Half the stadium was, a good portion of the stadium was gone at halftime. At the start of the fourth quarter, it was cavernous, and my son was at the game, and I'm going to ask him if he stayed. But I used to cover Nebraska back when I was on television in Omaha. I covered Nebraska, and there was a game where Kansas State absolutely did not dominate Nebraska and took over the stadium. I looked at Ross. There's about 2-3 minutes left in the fourth quarter, and all you could hear was "Let's go Hawks."
Yep.
And you could tell they took over the stadium, and it kind of gave me chills. I'm like, I'm glad I wasn't there because I would have froze my ass off, and I don't like to be cold. But I was like, oh, if I could have just experienced that one time, that moment.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I don't like to be cold either, but I sure as hell don't like lumpy mashed potatoes. How's your guys'? Did you get smooth taters and gravy yesterday?
My brother makes the greatest mashed potatoes, and I had the best sweet potato casserole I've ever had in my life yesterday. So was lucky enough to get invited to
get a recipe.
Yeah, I don't know. And Brad's one of those selfish people that
come out to the bushes.
Yeah. Oh, I would love that. I'd come out to the bushes.
We've never been invited to the bushes.
Damn. Wait, next Thanksgiving. No, this is Grandma. I always cook, so you are invited.
All right.
And one thing I decided this year is I can't supervise these guys. If I can't beat them, I figured I just got to join them. So that's what I'm doing.
Very smart of you, Grandma.
Good job, Grandma. Good job. All right.
That's what I thought.
Give us
down.
Give us a go Hawks before we hang up on you.
We will. Well, hang on, but we don't need to talk about No Shave November and the pies we got going here. But here we go.
You can't wait to shave. It's getting kind of itchy.
It gets so loud that it just fades out.
I've got a gate on this thing, which is probably.
Hold on. Let's go.
I like it. I like it.
All right. Thank you.
Granny Bush making her first appearance.
515-517-2303. Let's go to who's this?
This is Tuco.
Hey, Tuco. What's up, Brent? It's funny. It says Tuco, and I'm like, well, I just figured the voice thing got it wrong, but it's Brent. You have one of the few recognizable voices we have here on the Black and Gold Rush.
Yeah. I just have a little fun. Just from the good, the bad, and the ugly. So I feel like Tuco. Because I called last week, and I was so upset about the standard, right?
Yeah.
It was pretty ugly. And then this week, it was a little rough early, though. You have to admit that. It's like, ooh, this isn't looking so good. So, but yeah, no, it's a really good win today. That was a really great way to finish. I like some of the contributions, like you mentioned, from Godfrey. I wonder, is that Charles Godfrey's son by chance?
I don't know the answer to that.
I don't know either. Now that you say that, look it up.
Yeah. Maybe not. Just I thought he played really well. There's a kid on the special teams, number 11, that was really laying the wood. Then they put him in later in the game, and he looked pretty good too. But yeah, I thought that there's a couple kids that kind of showed out today. Then MG, Travis, your comments on MG are just the way I've been feeling all year. It's like this just. I'm not saying he was perfect. Obviously he had some times where he wasn't a very effective passer, but just his legs and the ability to. It just gives us so many other dimensions, right?
It does.
You can pull the ball out. You can do bootlegs. You can scramble for first downs on 3rd and 6 or 3rd and 7, like he did at least several times to extend drives. I mean, it just puts a lot of pressure on the D. I mean, it's like for us on the Iowa side having to have played some of these guys to take off like that all the time. Northwestern always had a guy like that for a while, man. That just killed us every year, But I just think we should be recruiting 3 of those guys. I mean, all 3 of our quarterbacks, first string through 3rd string, should be exactly in that prototype. Maybe one's better than the third string. Go ahead.
Brett, and I don't disagree with recruiting 3 of those guys. I think you have to prove as an offense you're going to consistently do it. I think you have quarterbacks now that are scared to come to Iowa because they don't want to get pigeonholed into what they can and can't do. Some of them, you got to let them be athletes. You got to let them be, I know they don't have stars, but you got to let them have the confidence that if they need to take off and run and do it. Up until we've seen Gronowski this year, we saw it a little with Beathard, but that was 10 years ago now.
Yeah.
You haven't been able to convince a quarterback to come to Iowa that was built like that.
I know, but I think that's part of Kirk's philosophy. He likes the Tom Brady statue quarterback, right? I just don't think we can block.
He doesn't want to
block well enough.
I think, Brent, I think it boils down to he doesn't want a quarterback that's going to make a mistake. And he knows that a quarterback that runs, a quarterback that's got happy feet is a little bit more prone to having that ball knocked loose, or maybe making a snap judgment as they're rolling out or getting loose in the pocket. That was the thing about Gronowski, like several times today and really throughout the season. When he started to get loose, he very rarely actually, and I'm not saying it didn't happen, but he very rarely kept his eyes downfield and actually made a play downfield. Most of the time when he got outside of the pocket, if he got rid of the ball, he was throwing it away. And I don't know, I think that kind of fits into that thing that you're talking about, that Coach Ferentz probably, it starts with the recruiting. He's drawn to the quarterback that's going to be that traditional pocket passer. And then when he gets guys on campus, it seems pretty obvious to me that one of the main instructions for their quarterback is do not put this thing in the ditch. Don't turn the ball over. We're not going to put up risky passes. And then that, I think another byproduct of that I saw today, because again, the receivers are not getting separation. The receivers are, every time they show the full play, you're not seeing receivers getting open. I almost wonder, Brent, if that's not a byproduct of how quickly they try to get rid of the ball. You have the receivers are less worried about shaking their defender and getting loose than they are actually having an eye on the quarterback in case the ball's coming their direction in those first 5 yards.
Yeah, and I'll piggyback off that. I mean, two things there, Ross. I mean, if you really watch it, and I see it in the stadium a lot, so many of our route trees are under 15 yards, all of them.
Yeah.
You know, and we don't send anybody down the field. And that makes it really hard because the defense comes up anyway for a run game, right? They want to come on up to, as close to the line of scrimmage as they can because we're gonna pound the rock, right? So they figured that way we can also cover those short routes very well, which they do. That's why there's no separation. We don't send guys down the field or down the middle of the field very often. When we did, it was huge plays. Like the one play we did with that little cross route between Van Zee and the tight end. By the way, that tight end's a stud.
Vanami, yeah. I mean, if I'm saying his name right, because I'm bad with names. Yeah, he was wide open.
That's what Gary called him. I'll go with that. Yeah.
So my point is, I agree with you to an extent. I think the other thing that Kirk is afraid of is your quarterback is going to get hurt, which is totally true. If you run your quarterback across the season in the Big Ten, he's going to get hurt. That's what I'm saying. You got to have three guys. That way, you go the backup guy. Yeah, maybe it's a half step down, but at least you can continue what you're doing from a philosophy standpoint. But you just have to go look at the play designs and stuff, how we can pull the ball out, we can hand it off. I mean, this coordinator is so much better than we've ever had.
Completely
you guys realize
agree with that. Yes. Yeah. Today, several times today, Tim Lester had really nice play calls.
And the other thing too is the one thing that we won't do because of Kirk's for the turnovers is throw that ball up to Van Zee like we've been doing, or that other number 7. Look at Van Zee's making great catches. He's not. It's not like he had this huge separation on any of those plays, right?
Oh.
But we're allowing the receiver to make a play on the ball. In the past, we would not do that, right? Oh, you're not open, I'm not going to throw it. That's everything. I'll take the sack. I'll throw it out of bounds, whatever. But throwing it downfield and allowing our receiver to make a play on the ball is huge, especially when you have those bigger receivers like a Van Zee and that I can't think of the number 7's name.
Dayton Howard.
Anyway.
Reese Vanderzee and Dayton Howard. Yeah.
Hey Brent, we got a lot of people on hold, man.
I'll talk to you guys later.
Thanks, all right, thanks, man. Appreciate it. 515-517-2303 is the number to call. Here's the deal. We got 3 people on hold right now. Stay there. We're going to get to your phone calls. We've been going 41 minutes. We're supposed to take a break. We got to take a little break. The good thing is our breaks are only a minute long, a little bit more than a minute. It is the Black and Gold Rush live from the Iowa Lottery Studios.
Bad gift giving. It happens to the best of us.
Thanks, I think.
But what if I told you there's a better way? Toss the silly socks and ditch the mediocre mugs, because the Iowa Lottery's gift that keeps on winning is here to save the holidays. Give your loved ones holiday scratch tickets with a chance to win instantly or unwrap your share of $1 million. Say no, no, no to boring presents with the Iowa Lottery this holiday season. Woohoo! Enter and see rules at ialottery.com/VIP.
You like listening to Travis and Ross talk about the Hawkeyes, so tune in when they talk about everything else. Listen to The Rush with Travis and Ross every day on therushradio.com, YouTube, the TuneIn app, and wherever you get your sports content.
My name is Gary Presnell, and I'm a residential home mortgage banker for Northwest Bank in Des Moines Metro Market. I've been financing people's homes for over 25 years, and I'm an expert in financing VA loans, FHA loans, IFA loans, and new construction homes. This is my cat Norm. Norm knows football, but he doesn't know mortgage, and that's where I come in. There are a lot of Tom, Dick, and Norms out there doing loans. So don't just trust anyone with your home loan. I'm your local, trusted, experienced expert.
Call Gary at 515-975-6767 or find his profile at nw.bank. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
You like listening to Travis and Ross talk about the Hawkeyes, so tune in when they talk about everything else. Listen to The Rush with Travis and Ross every day on therushradio.com, YouTube, the TuneIn app, and wherever you get your sports content.
Okay, you know, we've been talking about the Hawkeye Blackout promotion for a while now from the Iowa Lottery, and yes, that has ended, and the lucky lottery winners already went to Kinnick Stadium, enjoyed the Michigan State game, but the all-new Iowa Lottery Blackout Scratch Ticket is still available at retailers across the state, so get your Iowa Blackout Scratch game at Iowa Lottery retailers now, because there are plenty of opportunities to win $50,000 in that top prize. You could be the next winner. Hell, you could even buy season tickets next year for that. So go get your Iowa Blackout Scratch Ticket from the Iowa Lottery to your Iowa Lottery retailers. I'm Travis Justice. He's Ross Peterson. This is the Black and Gold Rush live from the Iowa Lottery studios. A lot of phone calls lined up. Let's get back to them at 515-517-2303. And who's this? Hello.
Hey, this is Mitch.
Hey, Mitch.
Hey, Mitch.
Hey, a couple quick things. What is our defense doing tackling? The tackling has been rough the last couple weeks.
There were a couple of plays today, especially. I mean, I do want to give I do want to give credit where credit is due. Emmett Johnson's really good. Emmett Johnson's really tough to tackle. I think, is that what you're referring to there, Mitch? There were a few times when Emmett Johnson broke through 4 or 5 different Hawkeye tacklers. In fact, early on, they even had that one where Ross Tucker from CBS Sports even counted, I think, 6 different Hawkeyes had to get a helmet on him before he went down. Is that what you're referring to? But because Travis and I did point that out to each other at one point today too, that was something that's unusual.
Yeah, and I think it's happened the last few weeks too. It just feels like they're missing a lot of tackles. Which is obviously not Phil Parker defense. But he always makes the adjustments, which I appreciate.
Yeah, they played much better in the second half than they did the first half. I'll give you that. I mean, the adjustments were made at halftime.
And there were a couple times at the open field tackles where one Hawkeye laid hat out in open field to stop progress. But you're right. There were several times today that Emmett Johnson was bouncing through guys, and as you said, that's not normal Phil Parker defense.
So the other thing I want to talk about is we talked about how we can't get separation with receivers, and early on today the run wasn't working. Where did the bubble screen or running back screens? Where have these gone? I don't feel like we do those anymore.
Had the one early on, and I feel like it was a big third down. I remember it being a big play. Swung to the near side, wide receiver screen. Whatever you want to call that, bubble, where they quick pass out to the out into the flat there. The running back screens, that's a good question. I mean, listen, I'll be honest, Mitch, I'm not upset about the game plan at all.
Either am I. You know what play I like now is the little quick pitch out of the shotgun.
Yeah. Every time they do it, I'm like, why are we doing that? And it goes for 7 yards.
Yeah, you're like, oh
yeah, that's why.
No, I'm not questioning the offensive plan of the day at all. I think the offense played amazing today. But early on, when we couldn't get the run going, we can't find the separation. I just feel like I don't understand why we're not trickling some of those in there to try to help with that separation.
Fair question. I loved the game plan today. That is something that has been missing from the usual Hawkeye offense, or those screenplays. Again, I'm not bitching about it at all that they're gone, because I always hated on 3rd and 7 when you knew you were going to get that wide receiver bubble. So I'm okay with it disappearing when the Hawkeyes are able to do this. I think you make a good point. Early in the game, when the running game isn't working out, when they're able to stack up the box, they're daring you to try to throw the ball. It'd be a nice time to see those. I'm not going to complain about Tim Lester's game call today.
No, one of the better games he's called probably since he's been here, and go Hawks.
Go Hawks.
Thanks, Mitch.
Thanks,
go
Mitch.
Hawks.
Appreciate it. Put this in perspective. Iowa 4 for 4 in the red zone today. 4 for 4 in the red zone. 28 red zone points. So all touchdowns.
Didn't they have? I have to go back and look at my notes. Didn't they have like 4 or 5 straight possessions where they scored?
Yeah, because it was the first half, right? They punted once, and I think they scored on every possession in the first half except one. Did I get that right?
Let's see. It was the touchdown. 4 straight possessions they scored.
Yeah. And scoring right before half and then getting the ball back to start the third quarter, that was the game plan, right?
Yep.
And that created even a lot more momentum. 515-517-2303. Let's go to Hayden in Des Moines. Hayden, welcome to the Black and Gold Rush from the Iowa Lottery Studios. What's up?
What's up, guys? Good game today. Really fun to watch compared to last week. I just want to get your opinion on that no call targeting play. I just thought it rubbed me the wrong way, the way Nebraska fans were acting or getting all rowdy about that, because I did not think that was even close to a targeting.
Okay, Hayden, I'm going to ask you a
But
question.
that could have been a real game changer if it went.
Would have been.
I'm going to ask you a question. I'm going to ask you.
If it went Nebraska's way.
Hayden, I'm going to ask a question to you. If you were in Kinnick Stadium and the exact thing happened in Kinnick Stadium, what would you be saying?
I probably would have been, same boat, but I still think, that's a football play. That's a football play. I think the targeting rules, if that got called, that would have been really soft and it could have really turned the game around.
And they didn't call it.
Curious your opinion.
Ross and I we were in agreement in there, Ross. We both.
I would not have been surprised if they would have come back and said that was targeting. Again, I think it's one of those things that a fan sees what a fan wants to see. I'm glad it didn't get called back. It would have been a huge momentum swing. It would have taken points off the board for the Hawkeyes because they had a safety in that moment. And then, of course, you ended up getting the ball back because of that safety. It would have been a huge momentum swing. And who knows if that would have been enough to actually swing or affect the outcome of this game. I'm glad it didn't happen. I would not have been surprised a bit if they would have come back and said that during the review they found the targeting. Wouldn't have surprised me.
Yeah, I don't know. It was Nebraska fans really just watching with
fans are going to fan, man. You got to remember that, Hayden. Fans are always going to fan, dude. They're going to see what they want to see. And I think Travis's question is the right question there. If you're a Hawkeye fan, you got to think of how you would have felt if that would have been Caden Weegan that took that hit and fumbled the ball into the Hawkeye end zone, and Nebraska would have covered that. We all would have watched that and screamed, "That's targeting! You can't let a player." It's textbook targeting is what we'd all been saying. So, fans are going to fan, man. Got to remember that.
Yeah. Anyways, that's all I had. I was just curious on you guys.
Thanks,
appreciate it,
man.
Go Hawks, buddy.
Do you think sometimes people call the show and want validation for their own opinion, and we don't give it to them? They're a little disappointed.
But I think that they know by now that's what. I mean, you and I are such contrarians. I mean, like if John would have started the day, the first phone call would take, John would have been like, "It's the best Hawkeye football team I've seen in my 45 years of paying attention. I can't believe how good the Hawkeyes." But we both would have been like, "Well, now hold on, John. They played good, but you played against a quarterback." So you and I are both contrarian enough that I think that people know when they call in, they're probably going to have to defend their opinion a little more than just get the pat on the back, hooray, you did it thing.
We've been asked a lot, and 8-4 is. I'm okay with 8-4, but I want to go back to what John was saying. But I think Ross this year is as close as Iowa's been since 2015 to being at that level where you're like, oh, you can compete with anybody.
Yeah, I mean, Travis, you're right. This is I can't push back on that at all. This is as close as we've been because of the way that these 4 losses piled up on us. All 4 of them seemed like games, with USC being the exception because the Hawkeyes weren't in that game late like they were with those other 3. I mean, all the other 3, you had the lead or the game was tied with under 4 minutes to play in the game. So the USC game is kind of an outlier in that, but I think you're right. Travis, that's the most common text I got from my groups of friends today was, man, you know what a game like this makes me do? Say, what if? What if we would have beat Iowa State? What if we would have beat Oregon? What if we would have beat Indiana? What if, I mean, again, USC is kind of an outlier in there, but man, they even said it on today's broadcast when they put up the college football playoff projection. So, man, the Hawkeyes are a game or two away from being on this very list. Let's be real. They're 2 games away. 3-loss Iowa team wouldn't be in there. 2-loss Iowa team would.
Eric says, yeah, but in 2015, they didn't beat anybody. Okay.
True. But
who they beat this year?
And
I don't
in
care.
2015, they're in the Big Ten championship. They have that lead with a minute to play. They come inches away from stopping that Michigan State touchdown and then the Michigan State 2-point conversion, or when they're either way, inches away from stopping that touchdown from happening. That's how close you were to being in the 4-team college football playoff. You can't deny the statement that was made there. No, and I'm saying to the listener, you can't deny the statement that Travis just made there, or that the commenter made. This is as close as this team has been since 2015 for us as Hawkeye fans to go, we almost belonged there. We don't. We don't belong there, and we didn't belong there, and we didn't get there. This is as close as we've been since that moment.
515-517-2303. Let's go to Jim. Jim, welcome to the Black and Gold Rush from the Iowa Lottery Studios. What's going on, Jim?
Big Jim.
Hey, I have a couple questions. Hey, how close do you think we could pick up the old Nebraska coach? I mean, the old Nebraska quarterback. Do you think we could pay him enough to come to Iowa?
Talking about Dylan Raiola?
In the game? Yeah.
Okay.
And in my Des Moines math that I didn't want to do in 12 years, the first grader went all the way to senior year. Nebraska only won one time in their 12 years of going to school. And does Nebraska fans still think I was a redheaded stepchild because they're the redheaded stepchild? We kicked their ass 11 times. Could you answer those questions?
Jim, that's
please?
okay.
Go Hawkeyes.
Yeah, that's an interesting thing that a kid that's a senior in high school can only really remember one time that Nebraska beat Iowa. That's wow.
That's crazy.
That's really kind of cool to think about. All right, let's go back to the Dylan Raiola conversation. And I don't know if Big Jim's still there or not.
No,
Maybe
he's
the
not.
Twins are around. If I told you could get one quarterback and it would either be Dylan Raiola or Rocco Becht, who do you want?
Rocco Becht.
Yeah, me too. Guess what? You ain't getting either one of them.
No, you're not. And of course, the Raiola rumors started up last week. I think you have to look at this is where college football gets hard. The regular season is now over. And the truth is, Kirk Ferentz now has to recruit every kid on his program right now.
Did you hear them say that during the broadcast, Travis? I'm not sure if you were.
I didn't
They
hear
said
that.
Kirk Ferentz basically said, starting Saturday, I have to recruit everybody on my team again.
And
that's the truth.
But you know what? That's every college coach in America has to do that now.
Right. The recruiting never stops. Travis.
No.
This is why I've been trying. Since the NIL thing started, it's one of the things I've said. This is the change to recruiting. There are no recruiting windows anymore. There's no recruiting rules. You are recruiting a guy the entire time he's on your campus. If you think he's going to be a difference maker that senior year, you've got to keep him happy all 4 years. Nebraska's in a tough spot. I think that TJ Lateef, I got a frog in my throat. I'm sorry.
Here, I muted you.
Thank you. I think TJ Lateef is going to be a really good quarterback. That's a true freshman out there starting his very first game at Nebraska. Had a
first game at home. It's
first
his
game
third
at home.
start.
Thank you for that clarification. Played against a really tough Hawkeye defense today that brought some pressure against him. I think he got hurt early on. They continuously talked about how he was kind of limping around out there. They're in a tough spot because now Matt Rhule has to recruit both of those quarterbacks. He's got Dylan Raiola, even with an injury, is going to have suitors.
Oh, absolutely.
TJ Lateef is going to have suitors.
Yeah,
He's going to have people
absolutely.
knocking on his door saying, hey, by the way, you ain't playing. You ain't playing. Why don't you come play here? Because you can play here at X university. It's going to be a tough job.
It's going to be a really tough job. And it's going to be a tough job for Kirk Ferentz. It's going to be a tough job. Matt Campbell's going to be in the same boat after the game against Oklahoma State tomorrow. So, I mean, it's not an easy thing to do by any means. 515-517-2303. Yes, that's the number to call. The phone lines are now open again. We got a lot of you listening and watching right now. Call in. We're going to be hanging out with you for about another hour.
I think this is a good sign. I think this means Hawkeye fans aren't bitching.
They're not bitching.
They're feeling pretty content.
I do want to bring up something I think I noticed today, and it's a good thing for Iowa. It's a really good thing for Iowa. We got a 1-minute break, and then we'll come back with more the Black and Gold Rush from the Iowa Lottery Studios.
Are you thinking about buying a home this year? Start by getting pre-approved with Gary Presnall at Northwest Bank in Des Moines to see how much you can qualify for and what loan programs meet your needs. Gary can get you pre-approved in 30 minutes or less with a pre-approval letter to you. Gary offers first-time homebuyers programs, VA loans along with FHA, IFA, and conventional loans. Call Gary at 515-975-6767 or find his profile at nw.bank. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
You like listening to Travis and Ross talk about the Hawkeyes, so tune in when they talk about everything else. Listen to The Rush with Travis and Ross every day on therushradio.com, YouTube, the TuneIn app, and wherever you get your sports content.
Bad gift giving. It happens to the best of us.
Thanks, I think.
But what if I told you there's a better way? Toss the silly socks and ditch the mediocre mugs, because the Iowa Lottery's gift that keeps on winning is here to save the holidays. Give your loved ones holiday scratch tickets with a chance to win instantly or unwrap your share of $1 million. Say no, no, no to boring presents with the Iowa Lottery this holiday season. Woohoo! Enter and see rules at ialottery.com/VIP.
You like listening to Travis and Ross talk about the Hawkeyes, so tune in when they talk about everything else. Listen to The Rush with Travis and Ross every day on therushradio.com, YouTube, the TuneIn app, and wherever you get your sports content.
It is the Black and Gold Rush live from the Iowa Lottery Studios. If you're listening on the audio stream at therushradio.com, the Rush Radio Android app, or the TuneIn app, thank you so much. If you're watching on YouTube right now, hit that subscribe button. We love you subscribers. Go ahead and like the video as well. Start leaving your comments in the comment section. And you can follow us on our social media channels, X, Facebook, Instagram, and now TikTok. I'm Travis Justice. He's Ross Peterson. We'll be hanging out with you for another half hour, 45 minutes, hour, however long we can continue to keep the conversation going. It is a call-in show, so the phones are open at 515-517-2303. You know, Ross, the last couple of years, and this is what I noticed today. This was noticeable today. Not only was it the adjustments in the second half, Iowa was a much more physical football team, and it was in better shape. And I think all year long, Iowa was able to compete in those games against elite teams. Didn't win them, but was able to compete, and you never thought they were overmatched. It's the first time maybe since Chris Doyle was let go that we haven't had a Chris Doyle phone call or Chris Doyle comment to where we need Chris Doyle back. I'm not poo-pooing what Chris Doyle did. He was an amazing strength and conditioning coach. But this was the first year, I think, strength and conditioning, you went, this team's not bad. This team's in it.
That's a solid point, Trav. At no point, I mean, USC, again, there's a couple games that you look at, you just, darn it. Those are different. Last week, man, we were not long away from last week being a disastrous outcome, and that would have changed a lot of these conversations, even here at the end of the regular season, had you lost that one. You know, maybe USC, but I think you're right, Trav. This is a season where we will look back, and as much as it hurts and as much as it makes you do the what if thing, you're going to look at every one of these games and remember that the Hawkeyes were in them. That's a good point. This is the first season we have not had a phone call where somebody said, I can tell you who this loss goes down to.
Yeah.
We don't have Chris Doyle. And to be honest, over the last several years, there were many times when you and I had to turn the microphones off and go, do we miss Doyle that bad? Is this a Chris Doyle loss? Is this a strength and conditioning issue? Why isn't this Hawkeye team, why isn't this offensive line able to turn into the road graders by the end of the game? When you see these first drives look this way, why isn't it panning out over 4 quarters like it used to? No, none of those games were like that this year. The Hawkeyes, I think you're right. Today, again, some things today that were strange. Time of possession. I haven't even looked at the stats on this one. Do you have the team stats in front of you?
Iowa 33-20, Nebraska 26-40.
I would have absolutely guessed that it would be the other way around.
And it's because Iowa scored so quick on its scores.
Yeah, I would have absolutely. Well, at one point they even said Iowa only had like 9 plays on offense, and we were almost through the second quarter there.
You know what it was? That last drive of the game. That last drive of the game.
Oh, yeah.
That ton of clock.
Ate a ton of clock. Yeah. Well, and we knew when the Hawks came out of halftime with that 24-16 lead, you and I both said, we know what Kirk Ferentz is going to do here in the second half. They're going to snap the ball with 5 seconds left, and they're going to run the ball. And that's what that first drive especially, they were doing exactly that, trying to take as much of that time away as possible. So,
yeah, just thinking about that, and it popped into my head as we were sitting here doing the show. I'm like, we didn't get a strength and conditioning call, and then watching that game, this just wasn't this game. If you look back over the course of the season, the reason they were in games, they were physically there.
Yeah, I can't push back at all. You're right. And this is the first time in years we haven't had at least one game where people called in, and really, we normally have multiple. Normally a Hawkeye loss results in a Chris Doyle phone call. We did, fortunately enough, get a Fire Ferentz phone call after almost every game this year. So, some things never change.
And the reason you don't want to fire a coach, he just won 8 games. But hear me out. Who are you going to get right now? Because there's a lot of good jobs open, and some people who were pegged for those good jobs have decided to stay put. You got the guy at Vanderbilt who's decided to stay at Vanderbilt. Drinkowitz at Missouri staying at Missouri.
Dude, Matt Rhule.
Matt Rhule's probably going to stay at Iowa State.
Matt Rhule going to stay at Nebraska.
Or Nebraska. Yeah,
Matt Campbell.
Matt Campbell at Iowa State. Matt Rhule.
But even think about those two coaches, Trav. They have not had the type of season that you would normally look at and go, oh, this coach is going to be a hot commodity. That's the hot commodity coaches have even cooled off.
Yeah.
But you've got so many big name jobs that are open that even that cooled off commodity is going to end up getting a really good offer.
And do you know why a Drinkowitz stays at Missouri or the Vanderbilt coach? Because now, folks, it's not about brand name. It's about the financial commitment you're willing to make sure you can compete. I believe most coaches are happy at where they're. It used to be, well, Georgia or Alabama could just pay so much more money and you'd go for the money.
Yeah.
Now you're like, oh, you're going to pay me money and you're going to give me the resources to go build a team? I'm pretty happy here. 515-517-2303. Let's go to the phones. It's my son, Owen, driving back from the game. How's Spencer doing, man?
Spencer's all right. He's talking and up and alert in the back
talking.
seat, which is better than it was 2 years ago after the loss. So, he's not in too bad a shape. And I think it came down to the fact that it wasn't really a close game. So there was really no hope. So his spirits aren't too crushed right now.
Your dad was envious of you, Owen, when we could hear the "Let's Go Hawks" chant towards the end of that game, and they panned back, and you could really see how many people had left the stadium. Your dad even looked at me and said, "This would be a cool moment to be inside of that stadium."
Did you stick around that long?
We left with about 5 minutes left.
Okay, it was right there.
And Spencer's dad actually texted him and just said, "Leave."
So if you guys,
he said, you just need to leave.
So I want to give a little perspective here. So my son is an Iowa fan. His best friend is a Nebraska fan. They've been together since they played Little League baseball together, right? So since you juniors in high school or seniors, you guys have been
This is year number 9.
Wow, that's really cool.
So
that's super cool that you guys do that.
Yeah, so it's that friendship, and Owen wears the Hawkeye gear. Spencer wears the Husker gear, and he's only seen one Nebraska win. That's it.
Yeah,
he's only seen one. Make sure to tell him that Iowa's a better football program than Nebraska,
and you better keep dragging his ass to these football games.
Yeah, he actually what he said in the back seat right there is, why do I keep doing this?
Because we're gluttons for punishment. So, Owen,
no kid.
So to answer your question, you texted me earlier. The camera overrode the StreamYard microphone.
Yeah,
I got it fixed though.
Pretty quickly.
3 or 4 minutes. It took me a while because I didn't know what was happening.
Okay, that's not too bad. Well, this being the last game, I did want to thank all the listeners for sticking with us through all the technical problems throughout the.
Oh, that's ironic.
And
He's hitting bad cell
What's
service.
that?
You were hitting
you
bad,
hit bad cell service right as you were thanking people for sticking with us through technical difficulties.
Yeah. Well, yeah, and you know what else is ironic is the moment we get the internet fixed at Omaha, computer starts acting up. I just go, you can't win with technology. You just lose.
Yeah.
But there is a lot of moving parts to it, lots of things to consider, and so I appreciate people having some patience and realize that
I would say for year one of this, I'd give it a B. I'd give year one a B.
Yeah, I like that.
So
yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
We'll see you at home.
Yeah. All right.
Later.
I mean, we could have been better.
Yeah.
Yeah, you and I could,
515-517-2303. Let's go to Chase. Chase, welcome to the Black and Gold Rush from the Iowa Lottery Studios. What's up?
Hey, guys. How you doing?
Good.
Hey, you got me?
Yep, we got you, Chase.
Sorry, I'm on the treadmill. Hey, question. Was Mark Gronowski worth the $2 million that we paid him, or supposed $2 million that we paid him?
I would say you know what? I don't know if it was that high of a number. Don't believe every number you hear, but I will say this. Mark Gronowski was worth the money they paid him at 8-4 because they wouldn't have beaten Penn State without Mark Gronowski. I don't think they would have beaten Nebraska maybe, but maybe not as handily. I don't think they would have been in the game against Oregon or Indiana without Mark Gronowski. So I'm going to say
Let me ask you the question. How much was Mark Gronowski worth? Before I tell you what I've heard the NIL deal was, what was the number that you would say he was worth blank?
Oh, well, they say they paid Cade McNamara, $650,000. So I would say in the number between $8 and $1 million would have been cool.
Because the number that I hear is that it was estimated to be worth at least $1 million. Now that again, could that be $2 million? Yeah, that would be at least $1 million. But I think that the number is probably closer to that $1 million mark. There's a couple things about it. Is he worth that amount of money? That's a good question.
I would have told you yesterday, no.
But today
that was
it's a
after
yes.
Michigan State.
Yeah.
Well, it feels a little better right now.
Yeah, recency
After they
bias
beat the
is a
shit
crazy
out of
thing. Recency bias is a crazy thing.
Let me ask you the question Travis asked me at the very beginning of the game today. How will Mark Gronowski be remembered? In 5 years, will we remember Mark Gronowski? We'll remember him. I mean, we can name Hawkeye quarterbacks going back to Chuck Long. And some of you can go farther back than that. How will we remember Mark Gronowski?
Fun, but almost.
Oh, that's a good one.
Good one.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Hey, I don't know if you guys heard, he's the all-time winningest quarterback in NCAA history.
Did they mention today that he's the perfect? Did they mention today during the broadcast that he's the perfect quarterback for Kirk Ferentz system? Did they?
Yeah, they did.
6, 7 times.
6, 7 times.
Okay, 6, 7.
Yeah, they had that written down in the game notes. All right, Chase. Thanks for the phone call,
love the
man.
show, guys. Thank you.
Appreciate it, man.
515-517-2303.
Travis, did you say he has the most wins of any college quarterback?
Yeah.
Are you sure about that?
That's what they keep saying.
That's what they've said a lot of times.
It's said a lot of times. Brad, welcome to the Black and Gold Rush from the Iowa Lottery Studios. What's going on, Brad?
Not much. If I tell you guys, I caught your one the other night when you interviewed the young lady going to Iowa, the basketball player.
Oh yeah.
McKenny
that guy's doing a
Valechko.
great job.
What? No, McKenna Wellwhiskey.
Yeah, that's a hard
Wellwhiskey.
name
Yeah,
to say, man.
Wellwhiskey.
Yeah. Good thing Gary's not doing. I mean, Gary doesn't do the girls' basketball game. He'd screw that all up all the time too.
You've listened to Gary a lot.
Not a whole lot. I like to keep my ears. But I will say this for you guys. I thought today's game was it's just like a coin flip. When that first punt bounced back and hit one of our guys and they got it, I thought, oh shit, it's finally going to even out. They're going to get all the breaks. But sooner or later, Nebraska just did Nebraska shit, and that was about it.
Nebraska
It seemed like the bounces went our way today, you know?
Yeah, I would agree with you. With the exception of that kickoff that bounced back, that the Hawks don't get on to cover, I would agree with you. For the most part, the 50-50 calls seem to go the Hawks' way. Hey, listen, I know that Hawkeye fans are out there and they're screaming at the at the officials from the minute the first whistle blows. I really thought today was not a game that I bitched at the officials at all. Didn't see anything egregious. I did feel like the Hawkeyes were on the right side of a lot of those kind of 50-50 calls that can happen. So
that should have been targeted, to tell you the truth.
It wouldn't have surprised me a bit.
I thought it was targeted.
Glad it wasn't, but it wouldn't have surprised me a bit.
Now, you're in the minority of most of the callers, Brad. Most of the people have said that it's a football play, and I get it. You're a fan. You should feel that.
And they decided it wasn't targeting after looking at it.
Yeah.
So they were that was the right call for it not to be.
Yeah,
targeted.
we were lucky. I think we were lucky.
We were the better team today.
Especially when they get that Gene guy, you know.
I'd say that
the Gene guy goes who's always right. He said it was targeting.
Brad, I would say that the Hawkeyes were the better team today.
100%. There was no. They're the better team. Period.
Yeah, it's good. Yeah, right.
And,
not today. Yeah.
I think if you play this game 10 times during the year, Iowa wins 8 or 9.
I think I'd agree with you on that, Travis. This was the Nebraska team I watched earlier in the year.
Yeah,
this is the Nebraska team I watched struggle against Wisconsin. This is Michigan.
Minnesota.
Minnesota. This was the team that I came away from that weekend thinking Hawkeyes are going to dominate that game, and they did.
Yep.
They kicked their ass today.
Yep. Did you guys notice in that one play where they gave him the first down? I thought he stuck him. I don't think the ball made it to the down marker.
Well, here
when they had like the tight end running it or whatever the hell he was.
Here's the deal, Brad, and I'm using this as an excuse to bail out the officials. But let's not forget that is a yard marker that is not official, right? It is not an official yard. It's just a TV laser thing. So you had to kind of go where the official saw it on the field, and he thought they got it. But when you have that line, we think before we had the. Next year we'll have the little pitch box for Major League Baseball. But how many times have we watched that and go, it's a strike? Well,
yeah. That box is a graphic.
So,
but it was a hell of a tackle.
Hell of a tackle.
I mean, he stuck that dude. He hit him like square on, man. But anyway, great show, guys. I enjoy it. Let somebody else call in.
All right, thank you.
I'm gonna go back and eat my ribs.
Thanks. 515-517-2303. Harry Balls. Welcome to the Rush Radio, or the Black and Gold Rush from the Iowa Lottery Studios. What's up?
Hey, guys. Yeah, it was great watching the old Nebraska cornholers get it rammed up their cornhole.
You just called in to say that.
That's all you wanted to say?
Just called in to get the cornhole line in.
No. I think Gronowski will go down as a pretty well liked quarterback, because on his games you were looking forward to watching him play because he made plays, whereas the other ones, if things didn't go right, they just had to throw it in the ground. Yeah.
That's a good point on this, Harry, is that Gronowski will have to be remembered in the context of the quarterbacks around him. And we'll remember him a lot better than we remember Deacon Hill.
Yeah, that's for sure. So doesn't Rhule start getting on the hot seat out there?
Yes, absolutely. Now, I know he just signed the extension, but one of the things that was talked about Matt Rhule coming into the season was that in year 3 at Temple, in year 3 at Baylor, he got to those double-digit wins. Nebraska fans were sitting there going, "This is the year. It's year 3 of Matt Rhule."
And the schedule was in your favor, too.
This was one of the easiest schedules in college football.
Yeah.
I mean, we made fun of Iowa's schedule in 2015. The truth is, this was an easy schedule. You didn't play Oregon. You didn't play Ohio State. You didn't play Indiana. You didn't have those teams on your schedule. It was set up for them to have. It was set up to have 9, maybe 10 wins.
Wow,
exactly.
Dude, do you realize they played 2 ranked teams all season?
Yeah, that's it.
They lost to Michigan 30-27. They lost to USC. Michigan was ranked 21 at the time. USC was ranked 23 at the time. Wow,
that's it. And so I think a lot of people are going to go, hey, and I'm going to ask you this, Ross. Iowa is much better than it was last year.
Yes.
Did you think this Nebraska team was better than last year's Nebraska team?
No.
Either do I. Now, Dylan Raiola was the quarterback.
Yep, and he gets hurt this season.
Yeah. But I would say
that's not. Yeah, a coach gets judged on the outcome.
100%. And I sit there and go, and it took me a while because I watch Nebraska every week, and I go, this team this team is not better than it was last year.
And I hate to hijack your call here, but now you've got to. That's a good question about Matt Rhule. Does Matt Rhule get a little bit longer leash because of his personality? Because I think that he's done a very good job of kind of embracing Nebraska,
100%.
making it home. He's done a lot of cool social media and media stuff. He's on with Pat McAfee inside. So he gets a longer leash because of that.
And an extension, so that's going to give you a leash because they don't want to pay anybody out again.
Boy, that's got to almost feel like one of those Fran McCaffrey extensions right now, though.
Because it was reactionary.
Yeah.
It was total reactionary. And when you have an athletic director by the balls, you go, oh, well, true. It's called leverage. We'd all do it in our own jobs. If you have leverage, you're going to use your leverage, right? I asked Dr. Rob this on one of our podcasts, and I said, how long do you think before Nebraska is can even think about a 12 or 16 team playoff appearance? He said 3 to 4 years. That ain't going to fly. That's not going to fly in Nebraska territory. It's just not.
Man, this was the year.
It was the year.
It had to make hay.
And now he's got to go hang on to, he's like every other coach. You got to hang on to somebody. But I do not think Nebraska took a step forward in 2025 from 2024. Matter of fact, they might have taken a half step back. Iowa, on the other hand, I thought took 2, maybe 3 steps forward. Even though the records they had a decent record last year, I thought this year's team was better than last year's.
We talked about the things that give Rhule a little bit of a leash, the things that tighten up that leash real tight. The way that you've lost these last 2 weeks.
Yes, you get your ass kicked.
Got just beat up by Penn State. Penn State team that on paper is still a really, really talented team. They didn't have their head coach.
No,
they came out and beat you bad. This Iowa team that everybody thought was going to be a close game. Some people even thought you had a chance at this. Matt Rhule said all the right things leading up to it. You got spanked today. Yeah, that's something that's going to. It's hard to. This is what you remember the season by, is how it ended.
And it ended badly.
Oh boy.
All right, Harry. Thanks, man.
Harry.
Appreciate it.
Hey,
515-517-2303. Let's go to Ryan. Ryan, welcome to the Black and Gold Rush from the Iowa Lottery Studios. What's going on, Ryan?
No, not much. I don't have a whole lot to add about the game. I wanted to call and just thank you guys for what you do. I tune you in every morning when I get up and listen to you after the games. I will piggyback off what you said about the strength of the offensive line, how they looked all year. I thought this was the best offensive line we've had in quite a few years, just from a strength standpoint where they can hold their own throughout the whole game and wear teams down. And I think that made a huge difference throughout the year.
Don't disagree with you, man. Do not disagree. Thanks, Ryan. Are you on the way back from Lincoln, or what are you doing?
Sitting in the tractor spreading shit till the weather tells me I can't.
Really? So I've always wondered.
Yeah.
Okay. Now I got a question here, because if you don't, can I digress here, Ross?
Oh, absolutely,
okay?
dude. We spread shit all the time.
So that's fair. So are you spreading? Is it chicken shit or is it cow shit?
Well, right now it's sheep shit, but we have cows and sheep.
Okay.
The pile I'm working on is out of our sheep lot. So
you use your own. You use your own manure.
Yep.
The only reason I ask this, I do an auction every year, and it's in a small town.
Thought for sure he was going to say, I do a podcast about manure spreaders, and I was.
Well, no, I don't do a podcast, but I do a fundraiser every year where I'm the MC, right? And they sell like 5 tons of chicken manure. And it goes for like $10,000 to $15,000.
What? Yeah, oh yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of guys in my area, and we don't have chickens in our area, but they'll truck it in from the other parts of the state. And I think those guys pay quite a bit to have it hauled in and spread it. They claim chicken manure is one of the most, probably one of the best to use as far as nutrient, the way, just the amount of nutrients in it compared to the other livestock. But
we've never
it's kind
had
of expensive if you don't raise it yourself.
We've never had a more Iowa conversation than this one.
Well, okay, so
this is awesome.
Let's say you ran out of shit. Do you have to go find? Is there a shit market? Is it like frozen concentrated orange juice? Can I go buy futures on shit?
I don't know about that, but in Iowa, the amount of hog buildings and chicken buildings, turkey, usually those growers have so much that they will sell, and you can get a hold of that. As far as us here, we don't have enough to cover all of our acres, so we still have to buy the other.
Okay, I'm going to ask you a pointy question.
Dry fertilizers.
How much do you spend on shit then? When you got it in, how much are we talking? A 2 ton, 5 ton, 10 ton, and how much do you spend on shit? How much does shit cost you?
I don't. To me, it's my time. but if I have to go buy fertilizer right now this year, it's too much. So
all right,
but it varies every year.
I'd also like you to give us a quick poop power rankings. You say that chicken scratch is the best. Where does the sheep shit? Where does the sheep shit fall on the poop power rankings?
Sheep's up there.
Okay.
I'd say sheep's up there in the top 3, and then maybe cattle and hogs a little bit behind. But that's just my one man's opinion.
Yeah.
So.
Well, listen, you're our poop expert.
Yes.
You're our excrement. You're our excrement expert.
I'm gonna start calling in now. Huh?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right.
And matter of fact, make this a morning show call. I would love to have this call in the morning. This is awesome. Thanks, Ryan. Appreciate it, man.
Thanks, Ryan. Appreciate you doing what you do, man.
Telling you, shit is a market.
Oh, I'm aware of that. He's out there just spreading it. Sheep shit today.
You know what that is? Smell of money.
Would you know the difference?
No, it's the smell of money for those guys.
I understand that. I've heard that my whole life. But I think whenever I smell it, being a city kid, again, born and raised my entire life in Des Moines, Iowa, which is not the rest of Iowa. Every time I smell it, I just go, "Oh, that's hogs. That's hogs." Do you think that was it Ryan?
Yeah.
Do you think Ryan has an astute enough nose to know?
Probably.
Wow.
We're getting some shit calls, I believe. So why don't we and not 515-517-2303.
Welcome to the shit show.
Kirk, welcome to the Black and Gold Rush from the Iowa Lottery Studios. What's going on?
Travis and Ross, how the heck are you doing?
Good, man.
Doing well, bud.
I'm eastbound Iowa City. Unfortunately, I didn't go to the game. Taking a kid back to college, but I thought I'd weigh in on the shit conversation.
Okay.
How about that?
Okay. We're up for it.
So what you failed to ask, Travis, was he knifing the shit in? Was he rotary spreading it in? Or was it like a broadcast spreading? Like how is the shit being applied?
You're talking gibberish to me. I don't know what the hell you're talking about right now. What's the best way to do it?
You got it. I guess it depends on what field you're applying it to. Sometimes people stockpile it, Travis.
Dude, I'm telling you, I never thought we'd have a crap cultivation call. I'm gonna keep coming up with these. This
is like the old days. This is when 6-on-6 basketball came up. All right, this is an old school show right now. See, here, Kirk. Here's
Travis,
the deal.
Do you know what a Travis?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You go ahead.
Do you know what a honey wagon is, Travis?
No, I don't.
What?
A honey wagon?
Honey wagon.
No, I don't.
Yeah, they're they're the big things that farmers pull behind them. They're honey wagons. They call them honey wagons because there's not honey in them. But when they spread it, it smells like money.
Well, okay. I didn't know they called it a honey wagon. See, I didn't know there's different ways to apply manure. I just thought when you got the manure spreader, it just went and spread the manure. Just spread the manure, kind of like your Scotch lawn seed.
Yeah,
it just like circulated.
When he said knifing it in,
yeah,
I think so. Rotary disc, we've seen though. I've seen one of those,
but I thought that was just like tilling. I didn't know you.
Yeah, I didn't know that you tilled the
poop in there.
Yeah, the rotary is the old school way applied via the PTO of the tractor, but there's also people that. They got the honey wagon that just spreads it, just broadcast spreads it.
That's what I was thinking.
You don't want to be behind one of those.
No.
You don't want to be behind one of those, Travis.
No, I can appreciate that.
There's a viral video of a farmer that goes out. They're doing protests in his field, and he goes out and sprays
I've seen
them.
that. That's awesome.
Great.
I love
That's
it.
So great.
All right, Kirk, we're gonna let you go, man. Appreciate it.
I feel like
go ahead.
Hey, can I say one more thing?
Of course.
I feel like Lane Kiffin could give a dissertation on how to spread shit.
He's gonna give a dissertation on how to hand out platefuls of it here in a couple of hours.
Oh,
because he's either gonna have to
Love
eat,
you guys.
he's either gonna have to eat a pile of it or serve a pile of it. One of those two things is gonna have to happen.
515-517-2303. Welcome to the Black and Gold Rush from the Iowa Lottery Studios. Who's this?
This is Asa driving with Ashton, Cameron, and Chappie from Lincoln, Nebraska.
Nice. Did you guys stay in there to yell, "Let's go Hawks" before everybody left?
We absolutely stayed till the end. And speaking of poop, I mean, Lincoln looks like Nagasaki in 1945. Like, what an absolute dump Lincoln is. First time there.
I've never been.
It's not Omaha. Let's put it that way.
You're not missing much.
Okay.
It's not Omaha. But
are you glad
two things.
glad
First
you
of
came
all,
over? Glad you came over to the game, though.
No, it was a great time. And first of all, that Emmett Johnson, their running back, reminded me of Akram Wadley. Like, what an agile back. Like, he's a great, great player. Phenomenal today. And looking it up, like, he had the most rush yards against Iowa since Ibrahim from Minnesota in 2022. So fantastic back.
He was fantastic as
But
well.
And thanks for giving credit. We've had a lot of people go, "That guy's the real deal."
Yeah, he was
Because
fantastic.
sometimes you don't want to give credit where credit's due. That dude performed, especially in the first half. You're like, damn. But they shut him down in the
I
second
didn't
half.
look at the stats, but missed tackles. Like, I think he caused like at least 4 or 5 missed tackles. Like, his cuts were so quick, and he was unbelievable. But just thinking about today, like, we're driving back from Lincoln, obviously super excited. But we were all, like, since the last game of the year, grading how we did this year, and kind of disappointed since we were so close. Like you guys talked, it's the closest we've been to being relevant in college football really since 2015. So it's been 10 years. But we're happy to be relevant, but kind of disappointed we weren't able to win any of those close games. But like Ross, you've talked in the past, like, you miss this feeling, like when you leave an away game or a home game and you get this feeling of a big win over a rivalry, you can't replicate this feeling. So we don't want this feeling to go away, but we also realize how close we were to being a great team. The conversation in the car was Kirk's going to retire when he wants to retire. Beth Getz isn't gonna put a timeline on him, so he's going to retire when he wants to retire. My question is, how many more years do we give him? My response has been, like, I think he's holding back for one more good year, whatever that good is, either a Big Ten championship appearance, a playoff appearance. But I think he's holding back for one more year, and hopefully we can get there again to the promised land. But he's going to retire when he wants to retire, and you can't replicate this feeling. So overall on the season, I give it like a B+. Like, we're super close to being that A rating, but just not quite there yet. So appreciate your show, guys. You guys are fantastic. Thanks for the
man.
time.
Appreciate it.
Thank you, sir. I think that's a really fair grade.
Yeah.
You got to go back. It's hard as it is because your expectations change as the year goes on, man. You watch this team play Indiana and Oregon and lose to Iowa State the way they did. Your expectations change, but go back to the beginning of the year. This is what I thought, and not that this was the high water mark to have 8 wins, but this was this is what I hoped the Hawkeyes season would be. This is in the middle of what I hoped for.
This is going to sound crazy. You're going to think I'm off my rocker. I've gone through 8-win seasons and 9-win seasons where you're like, God, we got lucky.
Yeah.
Here, I felt, every win, you're like, you were the better team. And even in some of the losses, you were the better team.
Felt like it for a long time.
And all that has to do is with the offense. I mean, it really does. I mean, because I wouldn't say the defense wasn't the best Iowa defense we've seen.
No. In fact, I mean, you go the last couple years, this Hawkeye defense is, you have to have a conversation about where this Hawkeye defense is. That's a great point, Travis. Why were you so close in so many of those really good games against really good teams? It's because the offense has taken such a step forward. That's a great point.
There's been other years, eight wins where you're like, that sucked. Just because you averaged 230 yards of total offense.
And every one of those seasons, it seemed like you lost a game you shouldn't have.
Yeah.
Again, last week changed a lot, man.
Yeah. You know what it is? We didn't need special teams and defense to win this year.
Great point.
The offense was able to contribute hell against Michigan State. right? Especially because
I tell you, man, maybe we've been too hard on Gronowski. The more that I think about it, he really did a great job of helping this offense be a lot more effective. Had every one of those games that you're talking about, man, he had a good drive towards the end of the game to put the Hawks in a position to win.
They didn't lose to Oregon because of Mark Gronowski in the offense.
Nope.
They lost because the defense gave up a drive. Now, that pass from Oregon was on the money. It was perfect. But, I mean, yeah, I feel a lot better about this 8-4 season than I have others in the past. 515-517-2303. You learned about manure spreading on this show. You've learned about our thoughts on Hawkeye football. See how all over the place it can go? This is why we have fun, folks.
Just like a manure spreader. You never know what direction it's all going to fly.
It is the Black and Gold Rush live from the Iowa Lottery Studios.
Bad gift giving. It happens to the best of us.
Thanks, I think.
But what if I told you there's a better way? Toss the silly socks and ditch the mediocre mugs, because the Iowa Lottery's gift that keeps on winning is here to save the holidays. Give your loved ones holiday scratch tickets with the chance to win instantly or unwrap your share of $1 million. Say no, no, no to boring presents with the Iowa Lottery this holiday season. Woohoo! Enter and see rules at ialottery.com/VIP.
You like listening to Travis and Ross talk about the Hawkeyes, so tune in when they talk about everything else. Listen to The Rush with Travis and Ross every day on therushradio.com, YouTube, the TuneIn app, and wherever you get your sports content.
My name's Gary Presnell, and I'm a residential home mortgage banker for Northwest Bank and Des Moines Metro Market. I've been financing people's homes for over 25 years, and I'm an expert in financing VA loans, FHA loans, IFA loans, and new construction homes. This is my cat Norm. Norm knows football, but he doesn't know mortgage, and that's where I come in. There are a lot of Tom, Dick, and Norms out there doing loans. So don't just trust anyone with your home loan. I'm your local, trusted, experienced expert.
Call Gary at 515-975-6767 or find his profile at nw.bank. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
You like listening to Travis and Ross talk about the Hawkeyes, so tune in when they talk about everything else. Listen to The Rush with Travis and Ross every day on therushradio.com, YouTube, the TuneIn app, and wherever you get your sports content.
Welcome back to the Black and Gold Rush from the Iowa Lottery Studios. Happy Saturday. Iowa 40, Nebraska 16. They took the manure spreader to Lincoln and spread it all over that field is what they did. That was a beatdown. Iowa finishes the regular season 8-4. So now the big question is, what next? What next? And, of course,
My favorite time of year.
Bowl season?
Predicting bowl season. And if you can't feel the facetiousness, let me lay it on a little thicker.
Well, here are according to
you got it up?
Google Gemini and AI.
Let AI answer the question. Yeah. Where will the Hawks play in a bowl game?
There are three possibilities.
Okay.
This is according to the AI Google search. First one would be the Music City Bowl against the LSU Tigers.
Okay.
Nashville wouldn't be bad. Now you have to start thinking what's good for the fans and travel, right? I mean, don't you have to think of a destination? I don't care the quality of bowl anymore because it doesn't matter. What you
just want a nice destination.
A destination for people to go, oh, I'll go spend some money there.
Okay.
I think you could beat LSU. The Realia Quest Bowl, that's in Tampa.
Okay.
Against Tennessee.
I've been to Florida, watched them play Tennessee.
How many times have they been to Tampa or Orlando? It's just like, not again. Or the Las Vegas Bowl to play Utah. Do any of those excite you?
All three of them are warmer weather than what we're going to be experiencing here, especially Sunday morning. Most of us are going to wake up and it's going to be single degrees, or it will be at some point on Sunday. So that'll be fun to think about going to some warm weather destination. Not that I'll be making it down to it, but I like Las Vegas, but you have to, Las Vegas takes a certain personality type.
It does.
Florida, I feel like, man, like you said, that's kind of, would Hawkeye fans be excited about going to Florida to play Tennessee?
Brad Heinrichs would be, because he wouldn't have to go very far.
He wouldn't have, right, exactly.
Let's go back to the phones at
All right,
515-517-2303. Let's go to Eric. Eric, welcome to the Black and Gold Rush from the Iowa Lottery Studios. What's up, Eric?
Hey guys, thanks for taking my call.
Not a problem.
I listen to you guys all the time.
Thank you.
I just wanted to, at the beginning of the year, after their first 2 losses, I'm thinking this season is over. Why do we even still have Kirk here? Like, it was such a, so disappointing. It's like, what are we even playing the rest of the year for now? We're not even going to make the playoffs. And then, after the Oregon game, after the USC game, I mean, those close calls, it's just like, I changed my mind. I think Kirk is the guy. We have to keep him. He stays as long as he wants. That's all I got to say, but just
Eric, I'll agree with he stays as long as he wants. And I think a caller that said that earlier about Beth Getz is not going to fire him, and you're going to let Kirk Ferentz walk out on his own sword, own shield, whenever he wants to do that. But you said something there that I would like to ask you about. You said that he's the right guy. What do you mean by that?
He is a great coach. He knows how to coach.
Yes.
And he's obviously bringing in the money. I mean, the money is a huge thing. And I think what you taught when you bring that up, the donors, they see that he's stable. They see that he's smart. Like, donors aren't going to be like, oh, we're just going to bring in somebody new and, oh, I'm going to throw this guy $1 million and see what he can do with it. Like, I know he's getting up there, but how long were Schembechler and Paterno there? I mean, they were there into their 80s.
Eric, you're touching on something there that has been, Travis and I have heard this from people for a long time, for a decade, because we were doing the call-in show here after the games for a long time. And when the calls first started to come in, I mean, honestly, from the very first year we were doing this, you had fire Ferentz phone calls. But I would say about a decade ago, when people really started to say that and have some, I mean, obviously a decade ago was 2015, we were great. When those calls became serious, we started to get some information from the university, the big donors that said, you don't want Kirk Ferentz to leave. A lot, like you hit on something really important there, Eric. He's really good with the big money guys. He's really good with them. Yep. I think that's why you get a Gronowski. That's why you got a Cade McNamara.
Yep.
That's why you've had a chance in the transfer portal to be a real big player, because Kirk Ferentz is good with the money guys. Now, I think you're right. You bring in somebody new, and you're not going to get what happened with Fran McCaffrey going to Ben McCollum. Apathy had set in. People were looking for some sort of hope to get excited about the basketball team again. That's not where they are with football. People have that hope. They have that belief in Kirk Ferentz. And changing that at all, bringing in anybody right now, you're going to have a group of people that are those big money guys that are going to wonder if this new guy is the right guy, whoever it is.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's a fair point. I'm not saying that means Kirk Ferentz is going to be the coach forever or should be the coach forever, but I do think that Travis and I have both heard that from some big money guys within the department that have said Kirk is dialed in on that thing that you're talking about. He's dialed in on it.
Yeah, and just one more quick point. To compete with the Southern teams, donors, that's what they're sending their money to, is football. Like, we're worrying about cancer. We're donating money up here for not just football. I'm not going to pretend like I know what people are thinking in that realm, but I think football is a religion down there. And the fact that we're even like in the running with some of these teams just shows how strong Iowa is.
Well, let's use today as an example. You know who has a boatload of cash? Nebraska has a boatload of cash. It has unlimited funds. It has SEC money. I mean, I'm not joking. They have they have the money to give whatever they want, and they're still not a very good football team. Would it surprise you? While you're on the phone, I'm asking Ross this question.
Sure.
But what would they? 28 seniors went through senior day last week,
something like that. Yeah.
Would it surprise you if on Monday Kirk Ferentz said bowl game's it? Because you got to replace a lot of dudes. A lot of dudes.
No, Travis, it wouldn't surprise me. It wouldn't surprise. I mean, it's gonna happen at some point. I think that the conversation, instead of the conversation which we have had so many times over these last 15 years, which is when should it happen? I think that the conversation now is more, or if it should happen. I'm sorry. The conversation was always if.
Now it's when.
Now it's when. It's going to happen. He's going to step away at some point, and probably within these next 4 or 5 years. So, no, I don't think it should surprise any of us, Travis. That's a good... I'm not preparing myself for it.
Either am I,
but
and I'm not saying that.
But if he announces, hey, by the way, I'm going to coach this thing through the bowl game. We're going to I'm going to give Beth Getz enough of a runway to try to figure this thing out, or an exit ramp. And then I'm going to walk away. And after the first of the year, after the 7th of the year, whenever the Hawkeyes end up playing in a bowl game, bon voyage.
All right, Eric.
Boy, that'll be an interesting
Thanks for the
time,
phone
man.
call, man. I appreciate it. 515.
Drives to that point. I hope, man, let me just say this out, think out loud for a second.
Okay.
So I was going to say is I hope he doesn't do that because of how many great jobs are open right now.
Yeah.
And
I'm
like
with
we
you.
talked about earlier, there's just not a lot of great head coaches available.
And don't leave the cupboard bare. I mean, you're losing a lot of
28's a lot to
of
lose,
dudes.
man.
515-517-2303. Let's go to Justin. Justin, welcome to the Black and Gold Rush from the Iowa Lottery Studios. What's up, Justin?
Hey, what's going on? Hey, I'm back. I know that was a no-no on the old station, but on the Rush, on the current Rush.
Oh, we
I
got
think
John
it's
from New
okay.
Jersey up next, too. So,
Oh, nice.
yeah.
Okay.
Oh, really? Well, listen, I'm not sad that I did not hear his first call because he is an asshole. I hope
Jeez,
he
why
heard
do you
me say
guys
that.
pick on John, man?
He's not an
He's
asshole.
not.
John
He's a-
is such a downer. John is a downer.
But
You remember
he's
SNL, Debbie Downer?
passionate.
Exactly. He's a passionate Hawkeye fan, Justin. And by the way, he would argue that he just has higher standards.
Yes.
And I'm not trying to put words in John's
Yeah.
mouth here. John just wants the Hawkeyes to be national champions. I don't
Yeah.
find fault with that. I think that's a great thing that you've got Hawkeye fans that
That's
have
okay.
that sort of desire. Yeah.
Yeah, that's all right, man. You can wish in one hand and shit in the other, and
Jeez,
see which
unreal.
one goes up first.
But John's
Anyway,
the
I'm
negative
sorry.
Nancy.
Anyway, okay, so bowl games, all three of those sound really good. I would like to be that SEC team or a Big 12 team. I'm going to watch it either way. I'm not going to travel to any of them, but the thing I wanted to ask you about, Matt Rhule used to coach at a Big 12 school. Was it Texas Tech?
Baylor.
Or was it another?
Baylor.
Baylor. Wasn't he the guy that wore that sleeveless pullover thing?
Yes.
That looked like a garbage bag?
Yes.
Yes. Well, the tradition continues because Nebraska is garbage. So, hey, this is why we want Kirk Ferentz around. And this is my counter argument to John in New Jersey, who wants the fucking world over Kirk Ferentz. You know, I'm okay with where the Hawkeye program is now, right? Because through this landscape of college football and its ever-changingness, I wouldn't rather have anybody at the helm of the Iowa football program than Kirk Ferentz. He is a steady hand at the tiller. He is moving us down the road in a slow and steady pace, right? And yeah, maybe we're not, we were just short. We were just short of the football playoffs or college football playoffs this year. And it could be a lot worse. I don't want it to make it sound like it could be a lot worse. Look at where Nebraska is right now. We have to judge where Nebraska is at a program right now.
I see what you did there. See what you did there.
Yeah.
All right.
And look at Minnesota. And look at Minnesota. Look at Wisconsin right now. I mean, yeah. Those are the old Big Ten West schools, and you may have, you can make an argument that Iowa had a better shot at things when we were in the old Big Ten West, but we are still one step away from, that other tier. right? Iowa's probably going to be an always second tier
But see,
football program
why?
within the Big Ten.
Why do you say that? Why always?
Because we're the state of Iowa, man. I mean, just look at the population centers of these other states. You know, I mean, it all comes down to financials and money. Ross, you talk about money all the time.
Yeah.
In the morning, right? You go on rants about money and where the money is, the money. I mean, unfortunately, that is a reality of the situation. But for Iowa to be in the lower tier when it comes to the money, and for Kirk Ferentz to have kept this program at a level where it's at right now and has been for a long, long time, I think that's a pretty damn good job. And, you know, you could make a snap decision and have him go away, and then who knows who comes in next. But, you know, we are a snap decision by an athletic director away from becoming Wisconsin and Nebraska.
She's not gonna. She's
so
not gonna
that's
do
all
that.
I'll have to say. I know that. I know, and that's why I'm happy to have Kirk Ferentz here, to have Beth Getz at the helm of the athletic department, and all that entails, right? So, John from New Jersey, when you come on here and shit on the Hawkeyes and shit on Kirk Ferentz again, you know, I'll go with my first thing. You're an asshole. Anyway,
Damn.
go Hawks.
See you, Justin. Just mean.
I don't understand why people, and I've known Justin. We've known Justin. We've seen Justin perform. Justin's been a fun guy to be around. I don't understand this thing of like this other fan of my favorite team has a different opinion, so he must be an asshole. John from New Jersey's been nothing but consistent over the years.
He's never changed.
No,
and that's why we like him.
It has been, and if I were to defend what he says, it's just expectation. John just wants the Hawkeyes to be great. And I think at the core, everybody that's listening to this show would answer that question the same way. Do you want Iowa to be great? Yes. Okay, then how do you do that?
Hey, John, you're not an asshole.
I appreciate that, guy. But Tom from North Liberty, you know, if I agreed with everyone's opinions, I'd be an asshole too. I guess that's how it works.
Right.
Yes.
Because opinions are just like assholes. We all have one. And Tom from North Liberty could say, oh, he's Debbie Downer. I remember listening to Tom 2 weeks ago when we lost to Oregon and USC, and he was right in the same boat that I was, asking some questions that we were all asking. Yep. Now, I'm going to tell you this. Someone said, oh, Ross, she said, if John was to come on and say, greatest Hawkeye win ever, mea culpa, greatest Hawkeye win ever. 40-16.
No, what I was saying there, John, is we're so
guy.
We're so contrarian that I would have disagreed with you. That no matter what a caller says, Travis and I are contrarians, and so we usually try to pull the other direction from whatever direction a caller pulls from.
I've listened to you guys for 15 years, and you guys have known that I've been consistent, and I'm a nonconformist. I don't go with the grain. I wasn't one of the 85% that took one of the shots of the COVID jab. Okay, that's on me. I don't judge anyone else who does it, unless you may have a vaccine-induced injury caused by Pfizer, which is now covered by Walmart Blue Cross Blue Shield of Iowa in the Case IH Red Zone. But I would say this. Yes, we are one move away from a bad decision. Look at Rich Rodriguez when he went to Michigan. Look at what happened when UCLA had to say goodbye to Terry Donahue. They have never recovered, except for 3 or 4 years that they had Jim Mora or when Cade McNabb was their quarterback. They have sucked. We saw Tennessee after they got rid of Philip Fulmer. They sucked. Now Florida's struggling. Florida State struggled. It happens, guys. It happened.
Nebraska.
But we need to start Nebraska. They haven't been good for a quarter century. But by the way, I'm with you, Ross. Would I trade the Hawkeye 90s for Nebraska's 1990s? Absolutely. It would mean that we'd have 3 national titles. But at the end of the day, I'm not being a Debbie Downer. What I'm saying is this. Is the standard 7-5, 8-4, if that's what you're content with, I think it's reflective and of who you are as a person. If you're content with that, that's fine. I'm never going to be content with second best.
John,
I never have,
John,
and I never will.
I'm a lot older than you, okay? I'm going to give you a little advice, though, okay? I'm not disagreeing with you. I actually agree with you. Probably not smart to be the first call. Probably not smart to be the first call out of the gate after a 40-16 win. If you would have like timed it now, people would be like, yeah.
It's funny when he was on earlier. I even thought to myself, I remember when John used to he'd be the last 5 minutes of the show or something, and then we always kind of felt bad because most calls with John last a few minutes. He's got a lot to say. He's passionate about what he's saying. I thought that same thing earlier in the show. I remember when John used to call in towards the end of the show. I think it was a work thing for you mostly, wasn't it, John?
Oh yeah, it still is. Like I'm working right now. But it hit me that am I negative Nancy? No. I expect to beat Nebraska. I expect to beat Michigan State. I expect to beat Minnesota. The wins that we had this year were all W's that I had on the win column at the start of the year. I didn't expect to lose to Iowa State. I expected to upset Penn State. And I thought if we can grab a game or two that we're in, then we're playing for a college football playoff.
But John, here's the deal. You got to give me this. They were closer in those games against the elite teams than they would have been in previous years.
And I thought they were going to be.
Yes.
I will give you that. Yes.
Okay.
And that's why it was so disappointing. At the same time, though, we've got to find this has been the MO in the Kirk Ferentz era. Is he better than Hayden Fry was? I would say yes. He's had more top 10 finishes, more 10-win seasons than Hayden Fry did. Hayden Fry came with nothing, and he took us to 3 Rose Bowls. Kirk Ferentz has now led us to 7 top 10 finishes in his 26 seasons at Iowa. His record in the month of November is a 72% win percentage, 66 wins, 26 losses. But you have to close.
It will happen on his time. You understand that, right? You understand it will happen on his time. You have to at least acknowledge that. It's not going to be forced.
No, it will happen on his time. And here's what I'm saying is that I think that the one thing we're going to look back on the Kirk Ferentz era is that we got close. And the Kirk Ferentz era is going to be defined by 2 words. What if? That's not negative. That's just the lay of the land.
That's fair. I'll give you that.
There's many opportunities where we looked at what's going on with the clock management. Why aren't they getting a mobile quarterback after we saw Brad Banks? Everything that you guys have been saying the last couple of weeks has been the MO of what we've argued with on either this show or Sound Off for 20 years. Time's running out, guys.
All right, John, we got to let you go. Thanks, buddy.
Take care, John. See you, buddy.
515-517-2303. Colin gets the last call of the day. Colin.
Wow, this has been fast.
It has been. Welcome to the Black and Gold Rush from the Iowa Lottery Studios. What's up?
Hey, thanks, guys. Appreciate it. I was, on John's call there, the Kirk Ferentz era, first of all, is going to be defined on what happens after him. If the coach after him goes on and does that next step he's talking about, that's going to be totally different than if this thing falls apart once he's gone too, right? I mean, I think we're going to look back on it 5 years after and define what the Kirk Ferentz era really was. There's a real chance that there's a real chance that we pray we have him back in a decade. But there is a possibility he's right if we take that big next step and say, man, if we just would have done this and this and this, it'd be totally different. But what I was going to call about is kind of on this topic is, don't you guys think that Seth Wallace is the guy whenever Kirk does hang it up? We've talked a lot the last couple of weeks about, man, if he were to go this year, all the big jobs out there and all the big names that are getting recycled, I don't know that Beth is going to have it that tough. I think the guy might be sitting there the whole time. And a couple of years ago, his name got brought up all the time. I just haven't heard his name in a while. But it seems to me like your associate head coach is the guy in waiting.
Well, I think if you ask Kirk Ferentz, the answer is yes. However, if I'm Beth Getz, you owe the university to do a search for a coach. You owe the university, the fan base to go out there and go, who's interested in the Iowa job? Because I think you're going to be surprised how many people have an interest in the Iowa job if their money situation is where it needs to be. Meaning that if you have a good NIL in place and money to spend, I think it's an attractive job. It's a good job. It's one of the top 20 jobs in the country. All right. And there's no other way to look at it. But hey, Colin, thanks for the phone call,
I think
man.
that's fair, but
Okay, no, go ahead.
I appreciate it. Thanks, guys.
All right, see you, man.
Oh, you know. Sorry. The only thing I was going to say is I think there's a better chance that Woods and Phil stick around for a few years if Seth is moved into that role, and I think you have to take that into real consideration as well. That's all I was going to say. Thanks, guys. Go Hawks.
good factor in your equation there. I like that a lot. It's a good one.
Wow, what a fast show!
That flew by,
what a fun
dude.
show.
Glad I came over today.
You know, it's interesting. We do a show every single day. It's different. We're in the same room.
Yeah, I like this.
Yeah, I know. So
I'll just drive over every morning.
Will you do that? Sure, that'd be great.
Thanks
well,
for having me.
for many years I drove to Des Moines You could drive over here next year.
Every couple of months you'd make the trip to Des Moines. I could do this. This was fun. Man.
Here's the deal. We need to thank some people. One, the Iowa Lottery.
Yes.
The Black and Gold Rush would not have happened without the Iowa Lottery this year. That's just a fact. So the holidays are here. Go get yourself some Iowa Lottery stuff, stocking stuffers.
And then share your winning. And I don't mean share your winnings with us like share the dollars. Yeah. I mean share your stories. If you buy holiday scratch tickets from the Iowa Lottery and somebody hits something, let us know. We'd love to know that we helped somebody get 10 grand in their pocket or something. The other guy we got to thank is Gary Presnell.
Absolutely.
Gary stepped up and was another one of our sponsors this year. He's also a sponsor of the Rush every morning with Travis and Ross. And Gary has just been an awesome. I've closed a couple deals with Gary during these last couple of months. Got a few more coming his way. He's been an awesome partner for us.
Do want to thank you heard him earlier. My son Owen, he bails us out
all the time.
And so Owen, a lot of this is not possible without you. So we thank you and you, the watcher and the listener, because the fact that you show up, you leave your comments, you make your phone calls, it makes the show a lot of fun, and we enjoy doing it every year. It's not the last one. We got the bowl game coming up. We'll be doing a bowl game one. And who knows, for basketball, like Tuesday night when they play Michigan State, we might jump on for an hour.
I'd be good with that.
Yeah.
You bet. That'd be fun.
Yeah, so, we can just kind of do this kind of whenever we want. That's the power we have of owning our own internet radio station. It's awesome. So, folks, thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for listening. For Ross Peterson, I'm Travis Justice. This has been the Black and Gold Rush live from the Iowa Lottery Studios.
Are you thinking about buying a home this year? Start by getting pre-approved with Gary Presnall at Northwest Bank in Des Moines to see how much you can qualify for and what loan programs meet your needs. Gary can get you pre-approved in 30 minutes or less with a pre-approval letter to you. Gary offers first-time homebuyers programs, VA loans along with FHA, IFA, and conventional loans. Call Gary at 515-975-6767 or find his profile at nw.bank. Member FDIC Equal Housing Lender.
You like listening to Travis and Ross talk about the Hawkeyes, so tune in when they talk about everything else. Listen to The Rush with Travis and Ross every day on therushradio.com, YouTube, the TuneIn app, and wherever you get your sports content.
Bad gift giving. It happens to the best of us.
Thanks, I think.
But what if I told you there's a better way? Toss the silly socks and ditch the mediocre mugs, because the Iowa Lottery's gift that keeps on winning is here to save the holidays. Give your loved ones holiday scratch tickets with a chance to win instantly or unwrap your share of $1 million. Say no, no, no to boring presents with the Iowa Lottery this holiday season. Woohoo! Enter and see rules at ialottery.com/VIP.
You like listening to Travis and Ross talk about the Hawkeyes, so tune in when they talk about everything else. Listen to The Rush with Travis and Ross every day on therushradio.com, YouTube, the TuneIn app, and wherever you get your sports content.